Well, the battle for 2027 is starting early as the All Progressive Congress, APC, wants Nigerian youth at the front lines. Senator Pius Ayim, co-chair of the party's 2026 Convention Planning Committee, is urging young Nigerians to step up, get prepared, and contest APC primaries for state and National Assembly seats, or risk being sidelined once again. The former president of the Senate made the charge at a high-energy interactive forum in Abuja, convened by APC National Youth Leader Dayo Israel.
But what is required of you to do with your strength is to get yourself prepared. And preparation is just not about brilliance. There are certain virtues that will make the next person look for you. How humble you are, how diligent you are, how committed you are.
The Obidient movement worldwide has raised the alarm over what it describes as ongoing efforts to deny its principal, Peter Obi, a viable political platform ahead of the 2027 presidential election. National coordinator of the movement, Unisa Tanko, made the allegation during a press conference in Kano, accusing the ruling All Progressives Congress of orchestrating crisis aimed at undermining Obi's political ambition. Tanko alleges that recent developments within the African Democratic Congress, ADC, including internal disputes and legal challenges, are part of a broader strategy to weaken opposition forces and limit Obi's participation in the electoral process. He further claims that Obi's growing political engagements, particularly his association with key figures such as former Kano Governor Rabiu Musa Kwankwanso, have heightened political tensions and triggered attempts to destabilize the opposition.
The government manipulated INEC to interpret an appeal court judgment leading to the delisting of the ADC leadership, putting Obi and other aspirants at serious risk of being denied a platform. The Peter Obi Media Office and the Obidient movement categorically condemn this trend as a blatant scheme to undermine, one, democracy, establish a one-party dictatorship, continue to exploit Nigerian resources through corrupt means.
And the Obidient movement worldwide. I'm now being joined live from Kano by Unisa Tanko. Very warm welcome to Newsnight, Unisa. And tell us, I mean, a few hours ago, your group, had alleged this plot to stop the Obidient movement and the rest. And some political analysts believe you're crying wolf when there is none. What evidence do you have that you can adduce that, yes, Peter Obi's presidential ambition is being jeopardized?
Well, let me quickly just, wish every Nigerian a happy Easter. Unfortunately, it's an engaging Easter, and that the country has been thrown into a turmoil of disbelief that this country is being governed or misgoverned, as the case may be, and putting doubts in the minds of the Nigerian people. Sometime in December 2025, the Supreme Court made its judgment as regard to the leadership of the Labour Party, clearly so, and then while such a judgment was given, it was ignored by this same leadership of the APC and the court, now bringing in other lower courts to undermine the certainty of those particular rulings. And so, therefore, in January 2026, outrightly after Peter Obi has painfully left the Labour Party, they come up with this particular litigation and then probably institutionalize the leadership of the Labour Party. thereby forcing him out. So intelligence has given us this report that yes, the target is that to ensure that His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi does not have any platform to run. So collectively, as a Democrat who believes in the interests of the Nigerian people, he went ahead to join the coalition of the ADC. And while it has brought in humongous support of people who joined the party en masse to ensure that he gets the ticket of the ADC and having an alternative option to the APC, on 22nd of March, another bigwig brother and a leader joined the ADC in the person of Engineer Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, who Mr. Peter Obi visited on March 22nd. On the 30th of March, there was a big rally in Kano in particular, and I was there when the party received the membership of Engineer Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. Such a gathering brought in a lot of leaders of the party, the chairman, Alhaji Tambuwal, everybody, His Excellency Neil Emoke, everybody that was supposed to be somebody was there.
Yes, UNISA,
all of them.
Please.
So, and that, of course, shook the fabric.
I think we have. I think Nigerians have the background of these. The question is, what evidence are you adducing to accuse the APC or the government involvement in the legal matter, affecting the ADC? Some experts, whether political watchers or legal experts, they just feel the ADC jumped the gun, putting the cart in front of the horse without exhausting, its matter at the court of first instance.
We see the court as a booby trap. When you ask me my evidence, I'm just giving you a choreographed positions of what took place. And the evidence clearly stipulates that after Mr. Peter Obi has left, that was when the Labour Party was returned. If there was a clear judgment, why would the Labour Party wouldn't have been adjudicated as it went due? And then when you look at the case in which was being established and the lawyers that were being involved, you know that what we are seeing so far, you could see the hands of government in every of the judgment that was already been established. Okay, you may want to ask me, who did I accuse or who did I hold? Yes, there are people that will hold, but at the moment now, we'll keep that as in abeyance. But let me tell you truly, everybody knows that the hands of government is in this particular adjudication. So, and then when the time comes, we will present an evidence physically for you to be able to see those who are behind such a heinous crime against the people. The truth about it is that the first time it happened to Labour Party. The second time it happened to the PDP. It also happened to the ADC. Why would a decision be made in the middle of the night and then you will put up and you delist a little political party? It was clear that the ADC itself has already made it very clear to those who are joining it, and they dissolved their house, which is completely within the purview of the ADC to do so. And once you stand dissolved as the leaders of a political party, you cease to exist. So why is it now that they are making adjudication on such a matter? So it's clearly seen that the target is not for all of the opposition leaders not to have a contestant against the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who himself has only one ticket, and that is very clear. And democracy does not entail such a situation.
Would you agree that Mr. Peter Obi, as some political analysts and watchers would want to allege, that he does not seem to have that leadership characteristics in resolving issues in political parties that is joined? I mean, from PDP to Labour Party, look at the crisis that engulfed it before the adjudication of the Apex Court, and now the ADC. And some others will say he's probably afraid to contest primaries.
No, I totally disagree. What you have in Peter Obi is a courageous individual who plays democracy the way it ought to be played. And Democrats who are right Democrats do not engage in violence, do not engage in manipulation, do not engage in stealing and running away with any ballot. And those are the kind of Democrats that Nigerians need. We've seen them in the past. We've seen somebody who was the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. We've seen a president in the person of Goodluck Jonathan. And we've seen even the last president before his demise, Muhammadu Buhari, who also ruled. None of them were interfering with the processes of the election. But in this situation, we are seeing the president who is practically involved in the processes of the election. And that is not democracy. Unfortunately for us, some of us who know the president very well know him to be a poser who believe in democracy. In fact, he was part of the people who have helped in trying to institutionalize democracy by fighting and supporting and member of NADECO who stood very strongly in defense of democracy. So it is actually painful to some of us who have been in this particular struggle to see him acting on the other side of the divide, and hoping that probably he will help us to enhance the strength of democracy by ushering in good and credible leaders. But unfortunately, it is not so. There's nobody in this country as a person who hates the president as a person, no. But when the processes are done wrongly, against the interests of the state, it becomes an issue for every one of us. So as far as we are saying at the moment now, we need to get the right thing done for the interests of the Nigerian people.
Sorry, Unisa, this discussion will continue it. We just want to quickly take some commercial messages and we'll be back. Stay with us. You're welcome back. You're still watching Newsnight from Nigeria's capital in Abuja. Okay, let's go back again to Kanu, where we have our guest, the spokesperson of the Obidient movement, Eunice Tanko Unisa. Thanks for staying with us, Tanko. Some of this crisis within the ADC, they are seen as self-inflicted, because the deputy national chairman, Gombe, who took the party to court, had earlier recognized the leadership, but some negotiations, were not carried out in good faith. True or false?
Well, I wouldn't say that the negotiation didn't go out in good faith. No. The truth about it is that probably he gets infiltrated, and then he on his own now has to deal with his own conscience, where the people of the Nigerian people are looking for emancipation and they've gotten the political party that they've all pitched their tent with. But he decided to go ultra-virus against the will of the Nigerian people. So it is him against the interests of the Nigerian people. It is on record that he has resigned. It is also on record that the ADC actually dissolved the house where he was there, including himself. And then it was on record also that the Nigerian people has patched tent with this political party, and that is where they want to run. But he decided to be a cog in the wheel of this particular program. So he has, one, his integrity to deal with. Secondly, he has to deal with his own personal conscience. Thirdly, he has to deal with the issue of his own family, and to know that probably a good name is much better than a bad name. At this moment now, probably he thinks he's popular, but I can tell you he is not. Probably he's on the other side. And then the Nigerian people will succumb and pass this particular threshold of treachery against them. Because I know there are still good people in our courts. I also know there are good people in our security apparatus. I also know we have very good people in our army, we have good people in our police, we have good people who want to see Nigeria triumph. And so therefore, we will call on all of them. Yes, maybe some of our leaders at the moment now are making a lot of mistakes. I said those who are in position of power, but it's not too late for them to retract their actions.
Well,
because it's Nigeria first,
yeah,
some moral follow second.
Sure, some moral situation there. Just before we let you go, Unisa, what's the plan B for the ADC and the Obidient movement protagonist, Peter Obi?
Yeah, just like as you said earlier on, I'm actually the national coordinator of the Obidient movement. I was a spokesman, but now I'm coordinating. And the truth about it is that as a coordinator, we have things to discuss and brainstorm on options and deal with the present situation. But you see, the situation is this. We cannot be running from pillar to post because the government does not want an opposition. We were in Labour Party. They made sure that it didn't survive. The intention was to look for another political party to work with. The PD was quickly crippled. And when we were able to coalesce and discuss and have a political party called the ADC, they have gone into it like termites to find a way of destroying that particular moving train. So we cannot be running from one political party to another. It is in our belief that it is time for us to stand strong and defend the interests of the Nigerian people. It's not about the issue of courts. Those who are hiding behind the court, they know the reason why, because it's a booby trap. But they took the decisions and fiatly announced it on the Nigerian people. The same way they announced this particular decision, they should revert it. They should revert it for the interests of the Nigerian people on which they are part of. Anything short of that, they will be the one that will face the brunt of the result. And that will not be good for the integrity of this country. So we are appealing to them. Before it happens, they should quickly retract so that they will not have themselves to blame, because this country belongs to all of us. And of course, when the issues are being put on the table, we will be discussing them.
Very well indeed. Yes, no better place to drop the anchor there. Unisa Tanko is a national coordinator of the Obidient movement. Thanks for speaking with us on Newsnight.